Hey, welcome to another episode of the Rob Report. I'm your host, Robert Bob TV Brown. Before we get into the segment, by the end of this video, I want you to do a few things for me. First of all, if you like the video, hit the like button. Please do. If you don't like it, hit a like. It's okay. Make sure you are subscribed to this channel. Sometimes, as Jimmy Dole would say, you find yourself unsubscribed and you need to make sure that you subscribe to this channel. Hit the notification bell right next to it so you can be notified when a new video is being dropped. Whoop, there it is. And more importantly, the super chat will be on for this segment. So if you want to donate toward the efforts of Bob TV, that's freely up to you. Any amount will help toward the growth of this channel. My name is Robert Brown with the Rob Report. Let's get into it. Well, good day, good day. Welcome to another episode of Rob Report. I'm your host, Bob TV. What is going on today? Look, guys, I don't say it often, but just want to let you know I appreciate everybody that tune in, especially my moderator, Karen M. I appreciate all that you do. Appreciate the consistent people that come on, like Luca Clementi. I hope I'm getting your name right. And a whole host of other people, man. I can go on and on and on, but I'm going to end up taking up most of this particular segment of the Rob Report. But I do want to let you know I appreciate you. This is a new year. I mean, let me say something. Let me prophesy, if you guys could take a little prophecy. 2020 was not good for you. Oh, we was told this year our vision is going to come to pass. 2020 vision. Well, whatever. But if you want to, if you declare today and be doggone determined that it's going to happen, it will happen that 2021 will be one of the best years you ever had in your life. I'm determined to make sure it's the best year we had. I mean, we lost a lot. And I believe that you don't lose, you sow seeds. You just let it, it's a seed sown. I must move forward. And I expect a harvest out of what I lost. I expect a 100-fold return on everything that I lost. Because I don't lose. I win. I declare that everybody that unsubscribed by the hands of Google, I'm going to get 10 times more. You will not stop me. Nobody and nothing will stop me. And you should say the same thing. Nobody and nothing going to stop you. Stop getting too personal about these politicians to the point that you falling out with your family members over somebody. And your family members need to do the same thing. I had this girl who said she supported Trump. I mean, this is back in the day. Hey, whatever. You fine, girl. What you talking about? You are fine. You can support whoever you want to. As long as you support me and helping me pay for this meal, because I'm broke, girl. I ain't got no money. But nevertheless, you be dog determined that this is going to be the best year ever. And nothing, nobody is going to stop you. It's a new day. Yes, it is. Let me stop. All right, so what happened to Simone Sanders? What happened to Simone Sanders? Now, she's around. She's still in politics. Man, but the position that she should have held, she didn't get. This is when going bodyguard hard or going too hard would give you no real reward. Dang. What happened to Simone Sanders? Oh, she started out great. Clinton recognized her as young and up and coming, what you call a public servant. She's a public servant, and we're going to groom and shape her. They groomed and shaped her to be what they groomed and shaped Tulsi Gabbard to be. Tulsi Gabbard was supposed to be the next head of the DNC, maybe one day next president, and Simone Sanders was going to be the next head of the DC. I mean, they picked her early, very early. See, I got a chance to meet Simone Sanders. At the time, sweet, cordial. At the time, very radiant, very beautiful lady. This is her. This is how she looked. She was just a little bit younger, older. Met her at a coffee shop in Brooklyn at a Brooklyn Yard. We chopped it up. At that time, she was the she was the press secretary for Bernie Sanders. And I'm getting familiar with the Bernie Sanders campaign. I wasn't fond of the Clintons. Didn't really know too much about Bernie Sanders. Remember back then, Bernie Sanders was a no-name, a nobody, a long shot. And I met her. Man, she wore lipstick. She had an eyeshadow on. I mean, her smile is radiant back then. Back then, her smile was very radiant. She went from this to this. What the hell is going on? She went from this, smiling, cheering. And I get it. I mean, she was the opener of Bernie Sanders till Nina Turner came on the campaign, and Nina Turner kind of stole her thunder. Stole her thunder. Bernie pushed her to the back, way back there. Way back there. And I know that probably hurt her. I was your young and up and coming person. I was the person that's supposed to open up to me. Now you replace me with this other black sister. What's going on? Do you believe that she probably believed Bernie Sanders turned on her? And maybe she took it bitter? Maybe she got bitter. Maybe she was so upset that Bernie Sanders forgot about her. My last name's Sanders. And I asked her, and I'm like, y'all wouldn't have to be related, I know how it goes. This is America. No, I'm not related, Mr. Sanders. But he's a great guy. You ought to meet him. If you stick around, I'll give you a chance to meet. Well, I wasn't sticking around because I had to work. But she went from this happy-go-lucky, cheery, we're going to start a political revolution. Oh, boy, she went from that to that. We going to tear the sucker down. Rah. Well, she over here looking like Stokely Carmichael over here. She over here looking like Rap Brown. She went from political revolution to political bathroom solution. What happened? What happened? What happened to Simone Sanders? Well, probably got bitter because Nina Turner was the talk of the town. Nina Turner was the spotlight. Nina Turner was the legacy, the heir to the political revolution. See, Nina Turner is not a passive aggressive like Bernie Sanders. Where's she to go now? After 2016, where is she to go? Because Nina Turner is more popular than ever. She become a political icon to progressives on the left, right, and in the middle. Democrats, non-Democrat, independents, and even some Republicans. What happened? She began to get in a slump? Begin to get in the dump? Why did Joe Biden tap her to be his press secretary? Yeah, Joe Biden tapped her to be his press secretary. Give me a moment. Let me look at this up, make sure. Y'all know me. I'm not trying to lie to you. I'm not trying to lie to y'all. Not trying to lie at all. I'm doing my study on this now. I'm doing my study. Simone Sanders, American political strategist and commentator. Served as National Press Secretary of Democratic presidential candidate Bernie Sanders. She was his National Press Secretary. She left the campaign in late June 2016 abruptly, but said she was not let go and that leaving the campaign was her decision. Yeah, because she began to fade in the wind. She has to have spotlight. She have to be the big deal. She have to be the big dealio. She wasn't let go. Bernie didn't let her go. She left. He ain't using me no more. Girl, you the press secretary. Nina Turner was just the opening act. In October of 2016, she was hired to be Democratic strategy and political commentator by CNN. So she didn't have no job, so she got a job as Democratic strategy and political commentator. In April 2019, Simone Sanders joined the 2020 presidential campaign of former vice president as senior advisor. Senior advisor. And after Biden won the election, was named his chief spokesperson and senior advisor for Vice President Kamala Harris. Hold up. You're not good enough to be the senior advisor of Joe Biden, but you are named the chief spokesperson and senior advisor to Vice President Kamala Harris. Now, when was the last time you heard from the spokesperson of any vice president? When is the last time you heard from the spokesperson when have you heard from the top advisor of Mike Pence? Do y'all know who that is? Do y'all know who is the top advisor for Mike Pence? Do you know who's the top or the senior spokesperson for Mike Pence? No. No. Neither do I. Neither do I. Neither do I. Neither do I. Now, this is a man. At least she got a man. You look like my boy Phil Advice up here. I guess this is her boyfriend, her partner. Hey, dude, look older than me, man. And she like them older dudes. Some women like that. They got I don't know how old he is, but nevertheless, let's come off this. So she went from top advisor, top senior communicating spokesperson with Bernie Sanders, end up being the senior advisor of Joe Biden. So you think if I'm going to be the senior advisor and I do a good job as senior advisor and I go bodyguard hard for this guy, I should have the senior advisor position in his cabinet. I should be one of the top advisors in the White House. Maybe chief of staff, but at least a top senior advisor. I should be his Jared Kushner. I mean, hell, you're using my face and you're using my skin. And yeah, you used me because you knew I worked for Bernie Sanders. I'm quite sure 9 times out of 10, they were using her to get campaign information on how to get to Bernie Sanders, who happened to be good friends with Joe Biden. What happened? What happened? Did she get that position? I don't know. She began to change, man. She got a chance to be on TED Talk. I listened to that crap. It was crap. I would love to be on TED Talk. I was watching that, saying, look, I'm going to watch her because maybe one day I might be up there, somebody will watch me. Oh, a bunch of crap. It was all about her. Letting you know it was all about me. She turned to O.J. Simpson on this joint. Freddie flew. She went so hard for Joe Biden, not only doing whatever she can to get the black community to support Joe, get women to support Joe and shame black men if they don't. shaming people like her father, her grandfather, her uncles, putting us down, pushing up the women's lib movement over the black empowerment movement, pushing the LGBTQ community, because honestly speaking, if she ain't there yet, she almost. When Bodyguard Hart tackles somebody over Joe, over Jim Crow Joe and his wife, the First Lady, Doctor. Don't you begin it. You should call me Dr. Joe Biden, not Joe Biden. Respect me because I earned a degree. Girl, I don't care nothing about your degree. And I ain't got to call you First Lady. I didn't call Melania Trump First Lady. I call her Melania Trump. I mean, I went in between calling Michelle Obama First Lady, Michelle, either way. Look her. Don't talk about my Michelle. I'll knock you out, son. But I didn't. Tackled. Gore. Spear. The dairy people. Get out of here. Gore. Let's look at this. Campaign. Oh boy, Gore.
Well, Joe Biden is
Gore. Listen to this. You gotta watch this. This is her going full-fledged. She's going full-fledged Roman Reigns. Full-fledged Rhino. Full-fledged Goldberg.
In the neighborhoods we come from, the three.
Now, these are people from the dairy movement. They're literally saying, let dairy die. Trying to push alternative methods to get us to participate in natural milk process like, oats, different nuts. Protesting now. And watch from the left side. Coming from the back. There she go. Boom. Boom. Let's go back. I wish I could play this in slow motion. Watch and see Simone. Boom. Let's go back to Simone Sanders one more time. She almost broke her own ankle and kneecap trying to tackle this woman who's protesting against the current dairy methods and pushing alternative ways, which Joe Biden's not 100% alternative ways. She did what she could. From out of nowhere, she like RKO. She went full Randy Orton on this lady. From out of nowhere. Look at it one more time. Here you go. And from the right. Boom. Get your punk off this stage. Get your behind off this stage. Get your behind off this stage. That's what no Joe, right? And watch Joe Biden, man. This guy. As y'all do. I know you said, well, who was your guy? Neither one of them was my guy. I don't support bigots. I mean, unless they can do a business transaction like Bigot Johnson did for Dr. King. I'm not supporting neither one of this bigot. This dude is a bigot. Yeah. He ain't a loudmouth bigot. That's what you call a stupid bigot. An ignorant bigot. White supremacists, true, real deal white supremacists don't like the Trump types. They expose. It's just like wrestlers. You're exposing the business, man. Yes, they kayfabe. This is real. Wrestling is real. When we all know it ain't. But you don't supposed to go out there and tell people that ain't Ryback. Got to keep that on the low. And she up here tackling from the right side. Doggone Goldberg speared the girl. Get your shit on. Get your one on. Get your one on.
Well, let's see. We're gonna go. Look.
Joe, we're gonna go. Baby, where we going? We going to get some chicken? Where we going? Hot wings? We're gonna go. I don't know where the heck we're going, but we're gonna go. Come on, man. We're gonna go somewhere.
The middle class is getting clobbered. The middle class is getting clobbered. Too many people in the neighborhoods that Jill and Val and I grew up in.
What about the lower class? And is this the same thing? This the same time when Joe ended up calling his wife his sister? Or calling his sister his wife? I think this was the same event.
Celebrities are getting hurt. They're badly hurt. And guess what? They're the places where we come from. Many of you come from. It's where we're...
Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, God. What happened to Simone D. Sanders? She tackled somebody for that dude. She gored. She speared from out of nowhere like Randy Orton just come out of nowhere and kaboom. Get your behind off the stage. Don't you be messing with my man. That's my man. That's right. I'm gonna be his press secretary. I'm gonna be his senior advisor. I might be the one that's gonna go out there and talk for him every morning. No. Because this happened.
The Biden campaign just minutes ago sent out a press release announcing an all-female senior communications team. Some interesting names and names that will be familiar to a lot of people, actually. He is going to be naming Kate Bedingfield as his White House communications director. Obviously, we're familiar with her because she has been serving as deputy campaign manager for Joe Biden's 2020 campaign.
So he gave the deputy campaign manager, not the senior advisor and chief communication person, but the deputy campaign manager. He gave that position to her, not Simone Sanders. She tackled somebody for you, dude. She was willing to risk her life, die for you. Who is this other person? Where was she? She was pretty much side by side with Joe Biden, bodyguard. He's like the reverse of Kevin Costner and Whitney Houston. He was Whitney Houston and she was Kevin Costner. She told the Secret Service, look here, bruh, I got this. I got it. Wide as I am, I can catch 100 bullets, but you just gonna get, I know you see, Rob, that was cold. No, hey, she wide, man. She wide. What I supposed to say? What I supposed to say? What happened to Simone D. Sanders? What happened? What happened? Keep going.
And then the woman who will be standing behind the podium, presumably, at the White House press briefings, this person is going to be Jen Psaki. She is being named press secretary. We know her.
Jen Psaki. Named after Chinese drink. How did this, like Fred Sanford say, how did this woman end up being his press secretary and not Simone Sanders? Because I'll conclude it later, okay? So he's going to pick her to represent him every morning. Why not Simone Sanders? Because she's black is it because she looked like a linebacker playing for the Houston Oilers or the Tennessee Titans? Let me rephrase it. Because she looked like Earl Campbell in his prime playing for the Houston Oilers? Is that why? Joe, why you didn't pick her? Why you pick her?
Of course, from the Obama administration, and she has also been very involved in the transition process. I'll just add two.
So she's involved with the transition process. I'm just doing this. Look, I'm just, come on, man. Get off my back, man. Go talk to Cornbread. I'm just doing this for Obama. But look, Obama ain't never tackled nobody for you, Joe. That lady done more for you. She laid her life on the line. And this the thanks I get.
Other names here. Simone Sanders is going to be serving as chief spokesperson for the vice president.
Oh, whoa. She's going to be the chief spokesperson, not for the president, but for the vice president. Yeah, you know, buddy, we got to keep those darkies with those darkies. Or caramel darkies. Can't be part of my administration. I got to keep mine full of cream. Joe Biden. Joe Biden is something else. I'm thinking about Stacey Abrams and all that hard work she did to get those people elected in Georgia, get them re-registered in Georgia, going through any nook and cranny to find people, get them registered. And hopefully she wasn't biased on that. Hopefully she did that for everybody. He didn't even make her VP, not even the head of DNC. He didn't even give her a position in his cabinet. These people working hard for Joe, and all she got in return. Well, I gave you a black vice president. That's all I got. I done more for than you guys and anybody because I got you guys a black, an Asian, a Jamaican, a Canadian. I got you some kind of vice president, and that's all. I did my duty. I paid it for it. Bruh, that ain't for us. And I know there's a segment of black society was telling you need to get a black VP. There's also another segment saying, I could care less about all that. I want you to start doing something for black people because getting a black VP is not equivalent to doing something for black people. Hell, getting a president is not the black president isn't equivalent of doing something for black people. And you got black people going all out doing something for you, and you minimize them, you ridicule them, you scorn them, you look down on them, you point the finger on them, and you say stuff like, you ain't black and you ain't vote for me, and look, I've done more for you, and I got the NAACP. Don't you dare talk to me about, you need to be worrying about them Hispanics. That's why I would never buy into this particular administration, because it looked too manufactured. This is manufacturing consent, if ever. Trying to work on emotional heartstrings and the visual tools of the black community. You see this? They black. I got black back. I got y'all a vice president that's 25% black. But according to the one-drop rule, black. And she knows what you guys go through. No, she don't. She grew up as an Indian and from India. A Brahmin Indian at that, under a Brahmin Indian mother who taught her family to look down on blacks because it was a caste system back there. But she decided to buck the system, her mom, and fell in love with this half black, half Scotch Irish Jamaican. And I don't know what happened with that relationship, but they ended up breaking off and it was bitter. And she got upset and moved her and her sister Maya away from that Negro who broke my heart and moved to Canada. And they grew up in an Indian neighborhood. She didn't get a taste of blackness until she got down to Howard University. But she got some black in her. And they think that's supposed to give them credibility with the black community. See, black people gonna have our back because we gave them a black VP. Black people are waking up to that positions don't mean nothing. Firstism don't mean nothing. Position don't mean nothing. To a lot of people, firstism does mean something. But to a lot of us, me included, I ain't looking at that. Congratulations. Big ups to you. First Asian, first woman, period. First black, first Jamaican, first whatever. Great. What you gonna do tomorrow? You support reparation. You support closing the wealth gap. Where are you on the Medicare for All situation? Even though reparation is my priority in this country, 75 to 80% of Americans want it, say they need it, and they're making the demand. Are you going to give it to them? Or are you going to kiss it behind Joe Biden and the corporate leadership? You actually think that this is benefiting us? Simone Sanders almost pretty much took somebody out over Joe Biden, and all she got was maybe top position, because that doesn't mean it's the top position, with Vice President Kamala Harris. Like I said before, can you name me who's the spokesperson for Mike Pence? Who's the advisor for Mike Pence? I'll wait. No, I won't, because it may take so long. I'll hold my breath. No, I won't. I'll probably pass out and die.
And Karine Jean-Pierre is going to be named Principal Deputy Press Secretary. So
I never heard of Principal she got a position over, come on, Kareem, that's the black chick, the one that looked like a girl from, like a lighter version of Lupita from the Marvel movie and all that. She like a light-skinned version of her, Haitian girl. They gave the Haitian black girl a higher position than the ADOS black girl. Come on, man. We got your back, black. I've done more for you. Look, I gave you a whole host of black people to work for Kamala Harris. You playing separatism and segregation. Why did Joe Biden give this lady the position and not Simone Sanders?
Again, just worth stressing that this is an all-female team. This is based on the list of names that we've gotten so far.
Again.
Obviously, the female part is very noteworthy because Joe Biden himself has talked so much about how important he is that he elevate women to senior roles. He obviously made a lot of news when...
I guess so, after you got hit with a campaign that you probably raped somebody, that you got a rape allegation. I guess so. I bet you a lot of you people gave him a pass on that, but didn't give Trump a pass. None of them deserve a pass. I guess y'all forgot all about it. Well, we ain't believe that was true in the first place, so you calling the lady a lie. I thought Joe Biden said you got to believe them. That's what Joe said. Believe them.
Earlier this year, he announced, even before he had a pick, that he was determined to choose a woman as his vice presidential running mate. So that, in addition to the fact that we're obviously seeing racial diversity here, that's something else that he has talked about a lot as well.
So all they want to do is play on your firstism and identity politics and black, Asian, gay, all this stuff. Because, like I said before, it's all about building up that base and looking at you as if you owe them something, like you owe them your vote and you owe them your support and you owe them your allegiance because look what I did for you. I did this for you. Bruh, what we need isn't what you're doing. We don't need identity politics. It's great, but you need to have something behind it. And if you don't have nothing tangible behind it, your identity politics is just dust in the wind to us.
Yeah, you can sort of see where the priorities are during the transition, given where a president-elect, who a president-elect puts in positions of power. That having been said, we've also learned some new names around the economic team that President-elect Biden is unveiling this week.
That's right. This is going to be a busy week. On tomorrow, we are going to be seeing an announcement coming from the transition team that has to do with Biden's economic team.
Now, look, it said Biden picks an all-female team. Ain't that about sexist? That's sexism. Oh, how come it's not sexism when you got an all-female team, but if you got an all-male team, it's sexism? What happened to that? Where's that talking point? Oh, Joe Biden's giving us what we want. He's making our movement better. Thank you, Joe. So men have to die in order for women's power to rise. When most men support women's upliftment. But do most people support black upliftment? Because we've been supporting white upliftment. We had no choice. Are we bitter about it? No. Do you want ring heads over that? No. We just want what's rightfully ours, and that's true equality from the rooter to the tutor.
This team is going to be so important because they will be spearheading efforts related to the economic recovery as so many people are suffering across the country during this pandemic.
How is color and diversity and all that going to make it better? I don't care whether it's diversity. I don't care if it's color. That don't make it better. It's what you do as a person of color that make it better. You can have somebody that's a genuine butthole and don't make. You got a black man who was the head of HUD when he should have been the Surgeon General because that's what he's good at. Well, those are Trump fools. You know, what do you expect for Trump fools? Dr. Ben Carson is no fool. He is no fool. He has always been one of the most brilliant minds in the world. He may have been hanging around a fool. He may have been working with a fool, but he himself is no fool. He was in his wrong position. He asked for that position because of the name Urban and because he's black. It's not about the position. It's about what you do in the position. It's not about your identity when it comes to stuff like this, lady. It's about what you do. I don't care nothing about all female or all male or all gay or all Asian or all. I don't care nothing about that. Can you get the job done for American people, especially when it comes to black people? How you going to uplift the black community? How all those females going to speak for the black community for the first black vice president lady? Is she going to be speaking up for black justice? Is she going to be spearheading and talk about we need to close this wealth gap until we can't hear it no more among blacks and white? Yeah, I know this is going long, guys.
One name that we have already reported on, we always had been expecting that Janet Yellen, the former Federal Reserve chairwoman, would be named as Joe Biden's pick to be his Treasury Secretary. So that announcement should be coming tomorrow. We also have Neera Tanden, the head of the Center for American Progress. She is going.
You mean Neera? I can't stand them because she can't stand people from the black activism, people from that area of the community. She can't stand progressives. She can't stand Medicare for allers and no-cost educationers. And she can't stand those people. She can't stand Bernie Sanders. She can't stand nobody. She was all up, her head all up in the crevices of Hillary Clinton's behind, all up in there. Yeah, she was part of that team with Karen Finney and all of them that were trying to come up with the Russian mess. Hillary Clinton loyalist. Joe Biden going to tap a Hillary Clinton loyalist to handle money. Right now, Bernie Sanders, I guess, is supposed to be the budget chairman, but he'll never get a budget long as Neera Tanden there because she can't stand him. Talking about a waste of energy and a waste of use of a position. All this is about all women, identity politics, all black, Latino, white, it doesn't matter. They're playing on the emotional strings of American people. Hoping that this will force a you owe us. So when it come time to voting, I expect y'all to be there. That's that gangster stuff. Look here, Paisan. Look here, Tony. Knowing your family a long time. And, we Genichis, we're all about family. So we Genichis gonna do this for you. We're gonna do something for you. Now, you know the old saying, when we need something, we want you to be there. No ifs, ands, and buts, no questions asked. Get it done. Sound like my Uncle Tom boy from Long Island. Get it done, son. I used to think he was a black gangster, man. He was so cool. All right? Paisan, come here. We're going to do this for you, kid. We're going to take care of that son of a beef. All right? Consider it done. Consider it done. Now, understand, we do this for you. I may need a favor one day. I may not. But I expect you to be loyal to it. That's all this is. This whole identity politics pushed by the Democratic Party is all about mafioso. We're going to do this for you. And we expect you to be there when we may not need you. And if that time comes, can you give me your word, son, that you're going to be there for the family? Oh, sure. I'm letting you know, I don't take liars lightly. If you're not there for this family, you're not going to have a family. Peace. Democrats.
Going to be named the head of the Office of Management and Budget. And then we also have Cecilia Rouse. She's a Princeton economist, and she is being chosen to be head of the Council of Economic Advisors. So again, there's a pattern here. 3 women who are being elevated.
So you got another Indian woman that's going to be head of things that we're going to need to have access to as ADOS. When it comes to the budget and money and finances and economics, they're going to be there to try to tell us whether we should be able to get it or not. What happened to black economists? Were they tapped like Sandy Darity? Now, Claude Anderson don't want to work for nobody no more because he already worked in the Clinton administration. And Claude Anderson said, screw all y'all. I see what they doing. I'm matter of fact, I'm going to be pushing against y'all following that. Y'all need to learn economics from us, not them fools. Y'all need to depend on economics from us, not them. Where's Sandy Darity in this thing?
To very senior roles on Biden's economic team. This team is going to be so crucial. The work that they do will set the tone for so much of the beginning of Joe Biden's presidency, Boris.
Yeah, and there's a long list of items to take care of on that list. MJ Lee reporting from Delaware. Thank you so much. Joining me now is CNN political commentator and the host of
So, these are your hopefuls. These are the people that's going to be in the Joe Biden's administration. Sure, they're not that crappy mess that Trump had, but they're still a crappy mess. How? What does this have to do with uplifting your community? Simone Sanders did all she could for Joe Biden, and he put her on Harris' team down in the basement. Oh, don't think because that she has a high-sounding position that it's a high-sounding position. Remind me of that video Dave Chappelle, a Capico, when everybody came out as the manager. I need to talk to your manager. Man, I am the manager. You're the manager? Yeah, I'm a manager. Everybody was the manager. Oh, man. Then we get this.
Well, Joe Biden is making his strategy pretty clear. To win the White House, he will have to win the Rust Belt battleground states.
And that's why in a few hours, he's holding a major rally in Philadelphia. This is the home of his new campaign headquarters, a Democratic stronghold in a state that Donald Trump took to cement his 2016 win. We're talking, of course, about Pennsylvania. And this is the final leg of his 3-week campaign kickoff. It's happening as he opens an even wider lead in Democratic polling.
CNN political reporter Arlette Saenz joins us live in Philadelphia. Still a few hours out from the start of the event, but you're seeing some movement around here.
Yeah, some folks are starting to arrive for the event here in a few hours. Joe.
All right, so we're going to fast forward this, yada, yada, yada.
Isn't it for all America, not just the base?
Stronger than
Victor, how are you?
Very well, thank you. The Joe Biden president.
So let's get to Simone Sanders. I mean, look like she looking at this brother like she gonna eat this brother up. Look like she like little bald head dudes with beards. I better shave my beard. I don't want her to eat me up. As she goes on the news, again defending Joe Biden record, doing whatever she can to make him look good because she need that job. She want the top spot in Joe Biden's administration. And she knows she ain't going to get VP, but she'll take it if she could because that's how much of an opportunistic person that she is.
Presidential campaign. Simone, hello to you.
Hello, Victor. How are you?
Very well, thank you. First, obvious question. You were the 2016 national spokesperson for the Bernie Sanders campaign. Why are you now on Team Biden?
Well, look, I think Vice President Biden is going to show everyone today exactly why I decided to join the campaign. Look, we are in a fight for the soul of this nation. And I believe that.
Perfect. Carrying the talking point of Joe Biden. We're in the fighting for the soul of this nation. How are we in the fight for the soul of this nation, sister, when he was one of the major instruments that ripped out the soul of America through his bigoted policies? Now, yeah, we need to get rid of Trump, but you're trying to replace him with a lighter version, lightweight, Bud Light, Diet Light version of Trump.
That this is a pivotal point, just not in American history, but in the world history. We have to make a decision about who it is that we want to be, where it is we're going to go. And I believe that Vice President Biden has the right vision to take us there.
Did he have the right vision when he came up with that crime bill? Did he have the right vision when he supported the legislation concerning drug? I mean, he sat along with the racist end of this, to kill them all in of the legislation that was brought in from Nixon to Reagan to George Bush to George. I mean, always. He'll tell you, look, my name is on every pro-police legislation or pro-lock-you-up legislation since the 70s. Oh, you think I'm weak? You know, y'all had about 26 counts of the death penalty. I'm pushing almost 60. What's up? What you got? Who's harder? Holla at your boy. Who's harder on black men and women?
I'm very excited to be on Team Biden. I'm excited to be here in Philadelphia, Victor. Okay, we are kicking off officially our campaign today. And I really think what you're going to hear from the Vice President is a bookend on these themes that you've been hearing from us since he first announced that he is running.
All right. I don't have much time with you, and I wanted to get that out of the way because I'm sure the viewers have that obvious question. But let me talk about the vice president here, and we heard from Senator Harris in that piece from Arlette about her refuting a claim that the vice president made this week that the 1994 crime bill that he wrote did not contribute to mass incarceration. I want you to listen to former President Bill Clinton.
Not only did it contribute to mass incarceration, she perfected it in California. She became a great student of how to implement the crime bill in California. Excellent student. I think that's why Joe Biden picked her.
And this is President Clinton, who signed that into law in 2015.
I signed a bill that made the problem worse, and I want to admit it. In that bill, there were longer sentences. And most of these people are in prison under state law, but the federal law set a trend.
Now, look, still passing the buck. He admitted that it was wrong. He admitted it gave too many times a longer sentence. Kamala Harris took that to make sure it gave longer sentences to people in jail. They were looking for reasons to get tag longer sentences on the inmates. They were looking for reasons to tag sentences on people in the jail that was pretty much innocent. There was oftentimes not letting innocent people get a chance to prove their innocence. They were keeping everything away from them for them to work their way out of the prison system. Why? Because they needed those bodies to feed to the private prison system, number one, or needed those bodies to feed to those contractors in the private prisons system. He wants to blame it on the federal level. He's talking to the state, saying the state, it's the state's fault. Well, they incentivized the state to do the stupid stuff they did. They gave them money to do it.
And that was overdone. We were wrong about that.
President Clinton says that
after you done stripped away fathers out of the household, stripped away mothers out of the household, how young kids went to jail in the early age and they didn't even have any drugs. They just happened to be near a school. And it could have been some drugs in a stop sign. And they probably didn't even know about the drugs in the stop sign. It could have been planted there by the police, who knows? And they run them in, and they had nothing to do with it. Finding easy ways to get more bodies in the prison system so they can feed the corporate complex and the contractors of those state, local, and federal prisons.
They were wrong about that. Senator Harris has said that it contributed to mass incarceration. Why?
Now, she got some nerves to even mention that, because she was excited for the fact that it contributed to mass incarceration. For her not to take her responsibility in implementing this thing to its perfection. She got some nerves to make a comment on mass incarceration when she was the queen, the Aretha Franklin of mass incarceration.
Why isn't Vice President Biden admitting what we're hearing from the former president?
Well, look, I think we can go back to Vice President Biden's comments at the National Action Network breakfast in January, where he noted that the crime bill, by way of this disparity between crack and powder cocaine, trapped an entire generation of people. Look, I think many people will tell you across the country, Victor, black folks included, that the crime bill and the reaction to what was happening in the early 90s. Now, look, I was only about 3 or 4, but I'm a student of history. What was happening in the early 90s, the reaction was an overcorrection to a very real issue. But we are going to see some policy rollouts from our campaign very soon, Victor. I know folks have questions about what is Vice President Biden's criminal justice policy.
Is it now
and those are going to come.
Now
but I mean,
the campaign's position that the crime bill did contribute to mass incarceration?
Victor, I think the vice president, his comments speak for themselves. What is very clear is
But his comment was that it does not contribute to mass incarceration. The former president who signed it said it did.
Look, Victor, if we play the whole clip, what he also said was,
she's trying to cover up for him. She's trying to say, look, forget about what happened in the past. We're going to talk about what happened in the future. Dude, what you've done in the past determines your future. If you have not admitted that you were wrong so you can go the right direction, stop it, girl. She out here caking, laying the layers on, frosting and everything. And then she putting on a cape and flying it all over the place. She is caping for Joe Biden, and when it came down to a job, Joe Biden didn't cape for her.
His comment was, what he also said was that the majority of folks that are incarcerated were incarcerated at the state level.
And there's a reason for that. Let me put up the truth in sentencing incentives here.
And I mean, there is a reason for that.
But there's a reason.
She's trying to overtalk him, which is something she loved to do because she don't want to hear what you got to say. Lessons in marriage. Lessons in marriage.
Let me put it up. Let me put it up on the screen, guys. The truth in sentencing section of the 1994 crime bill. This is page 21. It incentivized, it offered billions of dollars.
See? Remember what I said? Don't blame this on the state when you were willing to pay the states big money. Of course, they're going to go all out to get that money. When you made it easy for them to get Department of Education money, if you educate prisoners. You made it easy for private prisons to get more money when you offered them the ability to get contract for work. These guys working for pennies on the dollar. They work all week, bust their behinds for these private contracts in the prison, and they can't even buy a pack of smoke or some oodles and noodles.
To build new correctional facilities if states would increase the percentage of convicted violent offenders, increase the average prison time, increase the percentage of the sentence was there. Did this bill not incentivize putting more people in jail and keeping them there longer?
Now, here you see it is in the bill, the Truth in Sentencing grants. We'll give you money if you increase the percentage of convicted violent offenders sentenced to prison. How you going to increase them? Arrest them for no reason, search them for no reason, check their record to see if they got anything. If they don't got anything, maybe let's start somewhere they can have a record. We got to start from the bottom so we can have them here. B, has increased average prison time, which will be served in prison by convicted violent offenders sentenced to prison. This is something Kamala Harris did in California. She was happy to have police that didn't have the webcam. That was something she did not want because they'll prove that the police was harassing innocent black kids. Now, you can throw Latinos and all in that too because they got it too. Poor whites got it too, but not like blacks. Blacks got the worst of it. Has increased the average prison time. She prolonged their sentence time. She told them, look, if you're going to do this for me, if you ain't going to do this, we're going to add more time on you for being disobedient. This will be served in prison by a convicted felon, violent offender sentenced to prison. What's a violent offender? Anybody that punched somebody, cut somebody out. C, has increased the percentage of sentence which will be served in prison by violent offenders sentenced to prison. I can go on and on and on, but let's let him say it one more time, what it does.
Increase the percentage of the sentence was there. Did this bill not incentivize putting more people in jail and keeping them there longer?
Victor, I am not going to sit here and tell you the crime bill.
You got me. You got me. Yeah, you got me.
Was perfect. There was some really great preventative things that it did. It took on the NRA, and then there was an overcorrection. What you're describing was an overcorrection.
What this got to do with the freaking NRA? Look, folks, I got my good side on the NRA and I got my bad side on the NRA. I have no problems with you getting guns if you're doing it the right way. You got to protect your household. But the NRA didn't have nothing to do with guns on the streets. Man, what they got to do? Guys weren't registering their guns. Just to stay alive and walk down the street, people were trying to get a burner. Just to walk down the street to stay alive, you had to protect yourself from dope heads. Like I said, the crime bill had its point. There's certain things it did do right. But there was a whole lot of things that it did too freaking wrong to too many people.
The reach. Some folks went too far. The bill wasn't perfect. Republicans fought to put a lot of things in that bill. Democrats fought to get a lot of things out of the bill. But at the end of the day, Victor, at the end of the day, no one is...
You're going to blame that on a Republican. It was Republicans didn't dream this thing up, and the Republicans didn't call it Biden law. Joe Biden called it Biden law, and the Republicans was happy to support it because Joe Biden showed himself to be who he really is, a Republican with and Democratic drag. Him and Orrin Hatch worked on that bill. Him and Strom Thurmond worked on that bill. A lot of these races in the Republican Party and the Democratic Party applauded him for that. They couldn't wait to push that. Heck, they put the pressure on the CBC to even support it because most of the stuff was happening in black neighborhoods. So they had no chance. And then you're going to put something up there like the Violence Against Women Act to put people in the catch-22. You can put me in the catch-22 all you want. I would have never signed that crap, Bernie Sanders. Never. Stop using it as an excuse.
Suggesting that what has happened, what has ravaged communities over the last 27 years does not need to be fixed. No one is suggesting that there is not a real issue, there's not a real problem or a real issue. And I'm here to tell you that Vice President Biden will roll out, you'll see a criminal justice policy soon. We are going to continue to have this conversation about the crime bill throughout the campaign trail. But we're also going to put forward some policies, Victor. So just wait and see. Give us a minute. Wait and see.
We will look forward to those. Symone Sanders, thanks so much.
You should have been had some policies, girl, before you even rolled out your campaign. Get out of here with that mess. I guess that was her test. I guess that was her test from the Biden administration to see if she got the juice to be press secretary, and I guess she failed. I guess he gave her all the opportunities in the world to show that she is great at covering up and lying and deflecting and obfuscating. She's good at throwing you off. She's good at taking your question and giving it back to you. But I guess she didn't make it. That's okay, Joe. I got you. Want to use my? I got a girl that'll do the job, and it ain't Symone Sanders. They don't want to put a black secretary, spokesperson up there. Number one, if she is black, she got to look almost white. She got to be a little Kamala Harris. Hey, that's not even that because Kamala Harris can't pass off for black, 100% black. They need somebody, Stacey Dash or somebody. What happened to Symone Sanders? What happened to you, girl? You did all that work for him. Man, guys, if you look at the structure of the communication department for Kamala Harris, she is down at the bottom of the totem pole. Don't let that title fool you. And they put people under her just to let her know. They put people under her that's women, that's Asian. And when I say Asian, I mean Oriental Asian. I'm talking about Chinese, Japanese, Taiwanese, in that position under her, letting her know that, look, sister girl, if you don't represent our sister girl that we chosen, we can get rid of you and replace them. Replace you. And the same thing with the Haitian girl that's doing it for Joe Biden. If you don't do your job, we can replace you. I remember Joe Biden going on the TV today and say, if you talk down or mock and ridicule anyone, I'm going to fire you. Now, hold up. Oh, they got freedom of speech, bro. Are you afraid me saying something that's in my heart is going to make you look bad? All you can think about you. You're going to fire me if I call Jeff Sessions an idiot, a cornball. If I say Mitch McConnell is a butthole. If I say you're a butthole, are you going to fire me? Well, of course I'm going to fire you if you call me that in my face. So I have to do everything that you say in order to keep this job. That's how it is in corporate America. And believe me, the United States is the highest corporation in all of the world today. Simone Sanders tried her best to climb that corporate ladder. At least she tried to work for it. She didn't climb on top of somebody to get to that corporate ladder, but she did climb that, tried her best. Oh, she kissed Joe Biden's behind. She tried to defend his crappy record. She tackled somebody. Let me go back to that, man. Man, this little sweet thing that I met she went full Goldberg. She turned into that Incredible Hulk and went full Goldberg on somebody. Goldberg. She tackled somebody for Joe Biden with one arm. Yet Joe Biden couldn't give her a position in his White House on his staff. She did that for Joe. She didn't do that for Kamala Harris. She did that for Joe. And Joe could not even give her a White House position. And right now she's sitting so low in the vice president's staff that you won't even be able to see her face. She was banking that you'd be able to see her face so her career can go up. No, they buried her face. This is what you get when you go out there and go bodyguard hard for somebody. If you're not my lady, if you're not my mama, my brothers and sisters, my nieces and nephew, or my god kids, if you're not one, or my homies, if you're not one of those guys, don't you dare expect me to be tackling somebody. Heck, I'm moving out the way. I don't know you. These people just trying to protest dairy. And I understand you got to protect, he's the vice president. Where was Secret Service? She told the Secret Service probably take the day off, take the month off, take the whole year off. I could protect this man all by myself. Understand, I'm trying to get me a job in the White House. Heck, even Omarosa, one that did that for Trump, and she got a job in the White House. And y'all call her a sellout. Call her a victim of white zaddyism. And she was. Y'all won't say that about Simone Sanders? And look at the reward now. She's down at the bottom of the totem pole, not of the Joe Biden administration, not part of his White House staff, but somewhere way, way, way back of the basement, printing up flyers for Kamala Harris. Oh, boy. Shame. Just stick with your boy Bernie. I got my issues with Bernie, but I don't think Bernie would have did you like that. I don't. That's just my personal opinion. But I knew Joe Biden would do that. Because Joe is not going to elevate you unless there's something in it for him. The reason he elevated Kamala Harris, number one, is because Tulsi Gabbard exposed her to the point. Exposed her to the point that everybody began to check to see if what she was saying was true, and they found out it was, that a whole lot of black people they vacated her. Enough where her popularity went down. Enough where the bougie elite people stopped funding her and started taking the money and giving it to Pete Buttigieg, where she didn't have no funding, to the point that she had to drop out the race. Her popularity was so low that it didn't even look good that she would get a chance to run again for state senate, for U.S. Senator in California. The Latino guy that sits in her position now, that's going to be taking her position, he was doing better than her. So what are you going to do with this, something that we could have been using, something we could mold and shape in our democratic image? What you going to do with this piece of clay? I tell you what, let's give this piece of clay the VP position where we can continue to mold and shape her entire image to get our base to grow. We're going to use her to get our base to grow. This black chick over here, we don't need nothing from her. Stick her way down in the basement working for our clay that we're molding. You guys better wake up and find out who your enemy is and who's not. Right there, she would have sold y'all out just to go work for Joe Biden. And now you see that whether she sold you out or not, she was not going to get rewarded for it because she's just another Negro. Did whatever you can for me, and you got the nerves to expect me to do something for you. I'm going to do something for you. I'm going to have you go work for the vice president down in the basement.